Just as I might have attempted for more positivity with the last episode,
that is why you fail.
This one reminds of how wooden, dull, and unlikable some of the other characters have so far proven to be. Specifically with the Numenorian narrative, I struggle to tell them and the wights from episode 4 apart, and this issue extends to many of the elves and the Southlanders. Just as Legolas was frequently upstaged by the Ents,
this forest is old.
I could use more hamminess from the likes of Winterbloom. It's as if some of these characters haven't a pulse. We begin this episode with Orindir cutting down a few deserters from Adar's company. We have Celebrimbor talking to a piece of mithril.
What pride is woven in your inmost self that you resist my hand?
I would say he's now officially lost it, but having known this character to date, there couldn't have been much to lose. He learns there's no more mithril, and promptly loses his composure. The problem with this supposed decline is that none of it has been earned. The frailty and the degradation of the most famous artisan of craft, well, this Celebrimbor has proven too easily manipulated. It makes one question this character's intellect, and in the same vein, somewhat diminishes Sauron as this great deceiver. Having forgotten his apprentice, assistant, this lady elf whom had her hair fondled by Halbrand in the last episode.
Medania, she's called Medania.
Thanks for that. After 6 episodes, I had no idea either. Yet another character introduced who has left little to no impression, other than being a lesser Galadriel? How is that even possible? Halbrand, Anatar, whatever, insists that Celebrimbor converse with the others.
Your people demand an audience. You are the Lord of Eregion. Until the 9 are complete, nothing else matters.
Trusted with talking to the other citizens of Eregion gathered outside, Halbrand, Anatar, Sauron...
I know he's your friend, but I don't care.
...then seeks this Murdania's silence upon discovery of a dead elf that bears a message, and while also urging that she and the others maintain some distance from Lord Celebrimbor.
My lord, the carving on the body, what did it say?
Where is he?
Adar and Alicia, our namesake Galadriel, share a meal as he seeks to have her join forces with him to destroy Sauron. What this merely amounts to is a rinse and repeat from the prior season, only with their roles as captor and captive reversed. You are like me, I am like you, he invaded my mind as he did yours.
You and I are not so different.
Boring!
We then have the sentencing of Elendil. He of course continues to resist and a voice of his dissent for Pharazôn's ascension.
For Numenor's true ruler is now, until the end of her days, Muriel, daughter of Tar Palantir.
It is with these scenes where, if not already stale, derivative, tired, and dull, the Numenorians only continue to further bog down the narrative and pacing. Within the confines of its cell, and after the soapy exchange between Isildur's sister and Elendil, I half expected from this look alone, and despite his unwavering pledge of loyalty, that he'd not even recognised his own queen upon entry.
Amazing mnemonic device by which I have now memorized all of your names. Shirty, Mole, Lazy Eye, Mexico, Baldy.
Woodpecker.
Yeah, he comes and goes.
Wight.
Blank.
Plant. Palantir. Muriel. I'm not seeking to single out Cynthia Adai Robinson, although she was equally awful in Spartacus, if I recall.
Yeah, well, that's just like, your opinion, man.
But you try and determine what emotion she's going for, like ever. Back with Bob and the bomber.
Does it show us things that will be, or things that only might be?
Things that were. Things that are.
Look, why not simply cut, clip, edit, and insert the scene from The Lord of the Rings as I've just done? It didn't take me long, would save you a lot of money and time. I mean, this money could go to a charity, a noble cause, anything for the betterment of humanity. We hear the sad sop story from the gooned Q-clip.
I don't care anymore. I'm joking. I never did.
And we then receive the forced and contrived romance between Poppy, a character I have found persistently insufferable, and this nobody. These writers would like you to think that Charlotte Bronte, Leo Tolstoy, Shakespeare, and Victor Hugo, yeah, hacks all of them, I tell you.
Pure ignorance, sheer stupidity, and wild recklessness.
Only Payne and McKay can show you the way of true love. Is it supposedly cute? It isn't doing anything to warm the cold and crusted over cockles of me Kiwi heart. Can my new favourite character kill these hobos off already? Bob undergoes a trial.
Many that die deserve life. Some that live deserve death. Who are you to give it to them?
Many that live deserve death, and some that die deserve life. Can you give it to them?
Fuck off, show. This is the sort of dialogue that makes one hate watch. Oh, the dwarves. They seldom let me down. King Durin rejects this Hellbrand, Anatar, whatever, its offer in exchange for Mithril. The old king intends to leverage for more. With the greed and the ring's influence taking control, the prince tries to intervene. Alas, to no avail. Prince Durin, and back with Disa, laments having the inability to stop his father. Disa urging that they intervene through force becomes too much for the prince.
You're talking about humiliating him.
Prince Durin briefly breaks down.
I can't do it. I look at him and his eyes. I still see my father.
Honestly, I don't even know what to say. For me, at least, this is again a decent scene. I mean, I at least felt something, whether it be the father and son dynamic or the conflict with Disa to ensure that her husband do what's right.
Just when I thought I was out, they pull me back in.
However, it then devolves into some notable schlock, with Disa imitating Dracula to attack the dwarves, seeking to delve deeper into the mine. Unfortunately, and like last episode, with what positivity one could have mustered, then swiftly ruined, like by the contrived fleeing orb and Balrog reveal. We have a repeat this week with bats and some clunky dialogue.
Oh, I love you.
I love you!
And at this point it has become whiplash. Returning to Numenor, and upon the sacrificial altar, Elendil faces a ritualistic trial of ancient times. My bet is the sea creature will spare him. I'm prepared to take bets. What odds have you? How much has Vegas predicted? How good might be the potential return?
I also like to live dangerously.
Instead, we have Tarmuriel take his place. Considering we know of Elendil from the Second Age, the odds haven't really moved. She presumably identifies as a woman, although that doesn't confirm her survival. Still, that is one check. She is a woman of colour. Not necessarily likely, but there is a chance that Black Elf did not last long in episode 4. Still, check. She also suffers from a disability, and in this case blindness, check, and yes, she'll be right. Sadly, and yet again, it diminishes the sea creature that was once my favourite character. With her redeemed by divine intervention, we cut away to Pharazôn, the hypocritical and devious political foe grasping at the Palantir, while persistently pressed that we side with Muriel and condemn Pharazôn.
The wight, then.
Neither performances nor characters have presented the viewer with any reason to care. There's more charm to be discovered from a block of wood. You have to feel somewhat sorry for the Numenorians. It would seem they have to choose between a giant douche and a turd sandwich. Back with Alicia and Adar, she has supposedly decided to join with Uruk.
It's a trap!
With more talking and planning for the siege of Eregion, Adar soon launches his offensive, while Celebrimbor lingers within a haze, blind to reality, presumably trapped in one of this Hellbrand's, this Anatar's, the Sauron's spells. With the setup for the siege of Eregion next episode, what is there really to say for this one? Where is he is a dull episode that feels like little more than filler for the main event. There really isn't much more to say than that. I can only hope for more emotion, energy, and action with the next offering, rather than more of the wooden, the dull, and the bland.